Hey there shoppers, it's Amy and we are discussing two of my new favorite products. First, we are going to talk about this gorgeous lamp. It is from HomeStore. We're going to go over all the features. It's got a really cool remote, lots of dimming, timing, nighttime features, all of that cool stuff. Also, we are going to talk about this awesome steamer from Mistu. It is one of the most high-powered clothing steamers that I've ever had the pleasure of using. It also has a large capacity tank. It's so great. I can't wait to get to it. So you guys, let's kick it off right about now. All right, shoppers. So first off, let's talk about this gorgeous lamp. It is a very small but powerful lamp, so it's really great if you have a small footprint because it doesn't take up that much space, but it provides a ton of light and a ton of really cool features. So when you get this, I'm going to show you guys on screen kind of what it looks like in the box, and you can tell A, it's packaged really well so you know it's going to arrive to you safely, and B, it's really easy to put together. I'm talking just a couple minutes of basically screwing these poles in and putting the light bulb in, wrapping this lampshade around it. You're done in under 2 minutes. It's really easy, really straightforward, and you get a gorgeous lamp out of it. So what sets this apart, other than being super stylish, super minimalistic, which I love, that's so trendy right now, and also being something that fits really easily into a small space, is that you get a remote that it easily just automatically pairs with. You don't have to do anything special. It's super simple. It just works. It's intuitive. It's awesome. So you've got obviously on off, boop, boop. You had the ability to up the brightness and turn down the brightness. So you can set your mood lighting if you want it to be kind of dim, or if you want it to be really bright, you can. You can also change the temperature of the light. So I love this for photography, especially if you want a more cool light, if you want a more warm light, depending on what you have going on in your home, that's fantastic. It's also really nice, in my opinion, to have a warmer light on in the evenings. Say you're reading a book or you're trying to unwind and relax, take some of those blue lights and that bright light out to where it's not going to affect your sleeping. So let's check that out right now. Right now it's going to the cooler, so you can see it almost has a little bit of a almost like blue tone to it, so that's the cooler light. And then now we're gonna go over here, almost kind of an orange undertone to it, the warmer light. It also has a timer feature. You can press it one time for the timer. You can see it flashes once. If you press it again, it's gonna flash twice for the other time setting. Once, twice. So you can set those timers really easily, and it turns off automatically, which means it's going to just be really convenient for you, especially if like you're going to bed maybe and you don't want to have to worry about turning the light off at some point, or you know that you're only going to be in that room for a certain period of time. That way you don't have to worry about remembering to turn the light off, and it's going to inevitably save you money because you're only keeping the light on for a certain period of time. This red button right here I love because it is the bedtime function. So this turns the light down. You can almost barely tell that it's on because I have other lights on in the room, but I'll show you guys on screen that the bedtime function still allows you to have a really low light, enough to see the ambient space in the room, enough to read, enough to get ready for bed. But again, it blocks out all that blue light. It blocks out all the really brightness that's going to keep you up and disturb your sleep. So I love that there is a nighttime function that gives you just that low night light, basically. Absolutely fantastic. I love this lamp. I know you guys will too. Definitely check it out. Okay, shoppers, so let's talk about this Mistu clothing steamer. First off, you guys know I love clothing steamers. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, so much better than a traditional iron. And I have to say, this is one of my all-time favorite clothing steamers. It comes with the actual steamer itself, your instruction manual, and this nice guide that will clip on right here. That's really good for delicate clothing, like maybe your silks, your cashmere, things that you just want a little bit of a buffer on. This is perfect for that. The Mistu has your water reservoir right here. It's rather large and it clearly marks on it the maximum and minimum amount of water that you should have. It clips on and off. There's this little button, doop, 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 clicks back on. So that way, if you do run out of water while you are steaming your clothes, you don't have to unplug and take everything all the way over to a water source. You can just clip this out, go fill it up, and pop it back in. But like I said, it has a rather large water reservoir, much larger than I've seen in a lot of other competing clothing steamers. So you won't have to change it as often. I find that I can get several garments done on one tank of water. You have, obviously the steam comes out right here. You will want to be cautious of that. And you have your control panel back here. This is going to tell you, like, it's got a little green light when it is heating up, and then you just have your on off button right here, and you can switch between the modes like normal steam and high powered steam is how I like to think of it. I'll try to show you guys that on screen, and maybe you'll be able to see a little bit of nuance there. You have your trigger right here, which is where you press to put the steam out. You can lock it in to where you don't have to hold it down the whole time. That's a feature that most clothing steamers don't have, so I totally love that. And you can also lock it, which is a nice safety feature if you have this around your children or pets. But speaking of safety, there are a lot of built-in safety features with the steamer, and overall I would say that I find clothing steamers so much safer than a traditional iron. You're not going to burn yourself nearly as much. You don't have to worry about those fire hazards as much. It's just so much better. I also love in general, and I'll show you guys all of this on screen, using a clothing steamer, particularly this one, is going to give you great results for all different types of clothing, but I especially love this because I find that it's so much easier to steam clothing that has, for example, pleats, pockets, any sort of embroidery or anything like that. Those things can be really tricky to iron and mess up. When you steam, it's so easy to go over the pockets, to go over the pleating, and you don't have to worry about ironing it just so. Also, steaming, I think really gives you a more casual result. And let's face it, we live in a casual society where you don't want to look sloppy and have clothes that are super wrinkled, but you probably don't want to starch and iron and have perfect, almost uniform-esque clothing either. Steaming your clothes provides you that perfect medium between the two. It gets all the wrinkles out, but it still looks flowy, lived in, casual, just exactly what you want. Some tips: I like to hang my clothes up. I start at the top, I work my way to the bottom, and towards the bottom I just pull ever so slightly on the clothing as I'm going up and down. It gets all the wrinkles out and it still gives me that casual perfect look, and I don't have to worry about doing anything specific over those pleats, pockets, all that kind of stuff. I also love using a clothing steamer when I travel. I find that it refreshes your clothing, it gives new life to them, makes them smell better, look better, and look fresher without having to re-launder everything. So, I'm telling you guys, I could not be a bigger fan of clothing steamers, and the Mistu is my new favorite. A couple reasons. Huge reservoir. Absolutely. This really nice on-off and cool display right here. It has 2 different settings, and I'm telling you guys, it's very, very high powered, works quickly, fast, efficiently. I also love that this trigger lock holds down so you don't have to constantly be pressing this button to get the steam out. It just works for you. Absolutely amazing product. You guys, I love it. I know you will love it too. definitely pick one up for yourself, get to shopping. I'm gonna go back and finish steaming some of my clothes. I will see you guys soon. Adios, amigos.